Hello guys and dolls, and welcome back. Today I'm bringing you a video that's a little bit different. I purchased something that was insanely expensive, and that is the Christian Louboutin lipstick. I have just been so damn curious about this. It's one of those things where I've watched a ton of reviews and I get a little bit of like a mixed vibe from this. I feel like overall people say that they're nice, and some people feel like there's, it is worth it. Some people say nothing is worth a $90 price tag for a lipstick. My whole experience, and one of the reasons why I wanted this so badly, is I think that the packaging is truly beautiful. I think that it's one of the most exceptionally beautiful lipstick items that you can, or makeup items period, that you can purchase right now. And so I wanted to see, like, is this as luxurious as it looks? Does it feel kind of, cheap and crappy? Does this hold up well? Is the color really all that flattering? I've heard that it's a very universally flattering color. We'll see. And also, I just really wanted to try it out. I'm curious, like, what is this $90 lipstick other than just fancy packaging and a high ticket name? Is this something that is actually worth your money? Is it as luxurious as you would want a $90 lipstick to be? So I'm going to be taking this out of the box and testing it for the first time. I've never used it. I'm kind of nervous. So the lipstick itself is shaped quite elegantly. It's very gothic glamour, a little art deco. Kind of in love with the way that this looks. It's a bit impractical though. It's not something that you can like set on your vanity as easily. It's something you're going to have to kind of think about how you're going to store it. And so it has a string attached. Oh. Well, let's not drop it and break it the first second we open it. Right off the bat, the first impression I have of this is incredibly heavy. It almost feels like ceramic or something. It's very, very heavy. I believe it is metal. And then it comes with a little like slip cover, which is great if you wanted to carry this around in your bag and you don't want it to get scratched up. It has the little slip cover, which I think is really awesome. And you could easily use this little Louboutin box just to hold something else. Actually, I think I might use it for hairpins or something. So, cool. So here is the lipstick. It does still have this little thing. I've seen a couple of people store them with like chains and stuff, which was kind of cool. This is the Satin formula. So they each have a different look to the tube based on, what formula they are. So here it is. It says Louboutin. It has some numbers. I assume that these are batch codes on the back here. And here is the $90 lipstick. It is beautiful though. Like, seriously. You gotta admit, that's pretty gorgeous. So we'll just take a second just to admire how absolutely beautiful it is before I actually use it. I want to test this out over the course of the day, so I'm going to do things that I would naturally do. So I don't have a lip liner to pair with this. I mean, I do have like a bajillion red lip liners, but I don't want to interrupt the color in any way, shape, or form. So I'm just going to use my MAC Prep and Prime Lip as a lip base. Go ahead and let that set in. Mama, gotta wait till it gets kinda tacky. The reason why I like using the MAC Prep and Prime Lip is that it overall has a pretty creamy consistency, but if you allow it to sort of dry down, give it about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, it starts to get a little bit tacky, which helps to grab onto lipstick and it prevents it from bleeding and feathering and stuff like that. Okay, moment of truth. We're doing it. This is happening. Okay, I'm gonna do it on the bottom first, actually. What? Okay, so it didn't show up at first, but it's showing up now. Okay, so that's kind of once over. Kind of missed my outer corner there. Very pretty color. Ooh, loving that. Okay, so I'm going to go over it again. So on the first swipe, I noticed that it felt like there was no color. I think that just happens sometimes with lipstick that's molded and stuff like that. I feel like the first swipe, sometimes it's sort of like breaking the surface. I drug it from here to here, and you notice that by the time I got to this side, it was depositing color. I did basically 2 layers of lipstick just to get a nice opacity to it. Because I don't actually have a lip liner to perfect the shape, and because I do have a lip scar and so things can get a bit funky, I decided to go over just the outside of my lip lines with a lip brush in a little tiny bit of the lipstick. One thing I just noticed is that the inner cap has red in it, which I think is quite cute. I wonder if they change the color of the inside part depending on the color of the lipstick, or if it's always red to kind of go with the whole branding of the Louboutin brand. Just in terms of initial application, I noticed that it has a bit of a sheen to it. I can see that like over my lip scar, I'm not getting fully opaque color coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and just... So I am also noticing a very small bit of scent. It's very faint. Thank goodness, because I was really worried that this was going to be heavily perfumed based on some of the reviews that I've seen. It's not scent free, but now that it's on my lips, I don't smell it anymore. So it's something you smell kind of while you're applying it, and that's about it. And it's nowhere near as strong as a lot of the more perfumed lipsticks that I have. It even has less fragrance, I feel, than the Makeup Forever lipsticks, which I love. So okay, I'm down. This scent doesn't excite me, but it doesn't offend me, and it's not very strong. So this is the initial application. Let me go ahead and get closer so you guys can see it up close. Very creamy. It's very creamy. The color is beautiful. I actually keep looking at myself in the viewfinder. I'm sorry, that is so irritating. I'm loving the texture. I got the satin textured lipstick. They're available in 3 different finishes. There's the Velvet Rouge, which is the matte. There's this one, which is the Silky Satin, I think. And then there's the Sheer Wall, which is the sort of glossier, sheer version, which actually interests me a lot. I think that the texture of those look really beautiful on the skin. But for the first go round, I wanted to have something that really imparted a lot of color, and I wanted that beautiful Louboutin Rouge, because frankly, I can't afford his shoes, so $90 for lipstick, okay? It's still a ridiculous amount of money. I'm not trying to justify my actions with this. It's a truly ridiculous amount of money to pay for a lipstick. Moving on, I want to give a super big shout out to this powder from Lunatic Cosmetics. I am obsessed with this stuff. It's called Mystifying Mattifying High Definition Microfinish Pressed Powder. Beautiful powder. Every single time I use this, my skin looks really glowy. It's particularly good for photography and for video, but it works really great in everyday life too. So I thought I'd give this a quick shout out since I'm like, digging it. I'm digging it. So I'm gonna go about my day now. I'm going to go film some other content for you, which you will actually see before this video goes up. And so I'll do a check-in with you guys in about sometime between 2 to 4 hours. I usually don't leave lipstick on for longer than 4 hours without taking it off. We'll see how it works. So I will see you guys in the next check-in. Okay guys, so here's my first check-in. It's been a couple hours since I applied the lipstick. I did have a small snack, some crackers and stuff, so things I could easily put into my mouth rather than biting down on them. And considering that this is a more like a satin finish type lipstick, it's actually holding up really well. The color is still really intense. My lash is not faring as well. I need to re-glue my falsie down right there. But overall, couple hours in, still looking really good, feels really good. I feel like I'm only even aware of it because I'm doing these check-ins, but otherwise I've forgotten that I was wearing it. I'll go ahead and check in with you guys in a couple of hours. Okay guys, so I've been wearing this lipstick now for, I probably should have checked how many hours. It is now 8:41, so well over 5 hours at this point. It's still definitely red, but it's also definitely worn away. Here, let me get a little bit closer. You guys can see. I do feel like for the most part it's worn away evenly, and I also want to mention any activity that I have done. That sounds kind of... So I filmed a lookbook outside where it was extremely cold, so that totally like it. Like I've had weird things going on with all of my makeup. Actually, it looks kind of like funky. It was extremely cold, and then I came back inside and I blasted the heater to try to get warm. I ate dinner and then I kissed Mikey. So I've done a fair amount of things today. I think all things considered, especially since this isn't like a long wear lipstick, it's actually lasted pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and do a touch up, and we'll see how that, if it layers well basically over the previous lipstick. The smell's actually kind of growing on me. So yes, it does layer nicely. It doesn't feel funky. If I were just doing this for my own satisfaction, I probably would have completely removed the lipstick because that's what I like to do, but I know not many people actually fully remove their lipstick before they reapply. So I thought I would give you this. Let me go ahead and, again, get close so you guys can see. So it does touch up extremely well, and in terms of like feathering or anything like that, I do have some out on this side, but that's where I have my lip scar and like literally everything bleeds on me out there. I even had like long-wear liquid lipsticks bleed on that side, so that's not all that surprising. What I'd like to do now is swatch this lipstick against some of the other lipsticks in my collection just to kind of get a feel for the color so you can get an idea, okay, that's what this Makeup Forever lipstick looks like, just so you can get an idea of the difference in color between other red lipsticks. So my final review of this lipstick is I really like it. I really enjoy it. If I wasn't like a makeup reviewer on YouTube, it wouldn't be as politicized that it's $90. And I feel like I would be more free to just enjoy it for what it is, which is an extremely beautiful, extremely luxurious, creamy, fantastic red lipstick that comes in a beautiful packaging that is a dream to apply, that is just, it's like fantasy lipstick. This is like grown-up girl toys. I mean, it's just, it's so beautiful. Every element that is put into it is just top notch, and that's something that I really prize, is when companies put a lot of thought and effort and detail into things. When I set out to make this video, I was sure that I was going to be like either 100% like, no, this isn't worth your money, it's junk, you know, forget it, or I was going to be like, oh my god, this is the best thing since sliced bread, this is totally worth it. And I feel like a lot of people who I've watched do these reviews kind of just somewhere in between. Like, I enjoy mine, I love it. I'm not saying that I would never buy any more from this range. The bottom line is, for $90, are you getting your money's worth with this? And I think the ultimate answer to that is, oh, no. There's no lipstick that's going to be like worth $90 if you aren't buying it for everything that it represents. So if you aren't enchanted with the name Christian Louboutin, you're not gonna like get hot and bothered over the name brand. Me personally, I definitely fit in that category. I think some of his shoes are beautiful, but they all look extremely painful, and I just have no time for that. The real draw wasn't the brand name, it was the packaging itself. I mean, if this was a drugstore brand and it looked this beautiful, I would have it in every color, because I think that the packaging is so exceptionally beautiful. But because it is a luxury brand, they were able to make the casing in a beautiful metal. It's so heavy, it's so luxurious feeling. I do see the beauty of it. I do know that you are definitely paying for that Louboutin name, but the packaging itself is just exceptionally beautiful, and something that I think that I wish more companies would do, something as elegant and beautiful as this maybe not with the Louboutin name attached, so we could have it a little bit less expensive. Well, I have this one and I love it. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy, like, rush to buy a whole bunch more because, for one, they're super expensive. It's just not economically viable for me to go out and buy a bunch of almost $100 lipsticks. But also because I, like, formula-wise and everything, it's really beautiful. Like, this is, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's good. But is it $70 better than a lot of my other lipsticks that cost around 20 bucks? No, it's really not. And I wanted it to be. Really, really did. I still think this is one of the better reds that I own, but red lipstick is one of those things where, like, there's a million of them out there and they all look pretty good, to be honest with you. But if you are someone who's like, look, I just want a kick-ass red lipstick, one of the lipsticks that I swatched within this video would be great. I will have a list of great red lipsticks in the description bar down below as well. You know, just kind of investigate and find what works for you. You don't have to buy a $90 lipstick to be like, oh my god, I have the best lipstick ever. Some of my favorite lipsticks are from the drugstore. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys kind of like me where you're kind of like in between? Like, you're not like a hater, but you're not like, oh my god, you gotta run out and buy these, you know? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I apologize that this video isn't more satisfying and more polarizing one way or the other, but I really truly feel like it's one of those products that, like, you either love it for the packaging and you buy into it, or you're like, I would never spend a $90 on a lipstick, period. And I think that that's just kind of, that is what it is. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Remember to be vintage or tacky, just be your own kind of beautiful. See you, bye.